I've promised myself I would, so I could at least share it with everyone that hasn't been able to join us as well. So if you could just accept that, please. Thanks. So yeah, so just to just recap, basically your go-to marketing expert, mentor or coach to help you and guide you through your marketing, to rather establish what marketing is and not coming in with that mindset of hide marketing. Okay, we like to make fun, we like to create fun and take the basics out of marketing and make it fun. Okay, so let's just have a look at some of the things that we do, obviously. So we've got an 8 hours to get marketing set. So that's a program. It's 4 hours of video that you watch in your own time, and then you build your own marketing plan from that. Okay, so that's available for download on our website. We also do one-on-one mentoring. So if you're stuck with something specific or you don't really feel like you fit into any of the programs, that's something we can also do. And then our signature program is really our 12-week marketing program, which is our 12 steps to marketing success. And we take you through a whole process to develop an entire marketing plan to get you fit for market, so you can then implement strategic advertising. Okay, and then there was a need for this kind of day-to-day, week-to-week, because I've had my first crew go through my 12-week program, and it's kind of like, they're like, okay, what am I going to do now? And who's going to hold me accountable? And how am I going to know, Tanya, I can see Tanya smiling there. And how am I going to know, if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm on the right track? And so this kind of created this program as well. So if you're looking for that accountability partner, have those questions about specific things in your marketing, perhaps you've gone through the 12-week program, you haven't, you just want to do this. It's just another option for us to allow people to grow and learn, right? So that's why I created my Lifeline Learning. Okay, cool. You guys are in the chat. So this is my introduction to my Lifeline Learning. So what is it all about, really? So it is a monthly membership. Okay, and just to also to reiterate that you are not alone in this process. Like every business owner out there probably feels very much like yourself. It's really to help entrepreneurs and business owners so that you don't feel overwhelmed as you currently do or have this fear of marketing. You meet once a week online with myself, and we go through my 12 steps to success, not each week, but I'm going to take elements of that because essentially that is the 12 steps. But each week we're going to focus on a different topic. We're going to have one key learning per week. And then you're also going to learn about other people's real marketing struggles, okay? Guided by myself, Megan Kornberger, a marketing expert, and also giving practical examples for you guys to use. So that's the intention of this. And why so too is because it is continuous learning. As I said, with weekly meetings, you show commitment and growth for change. Improved actions. So with improved knowledge and skill sets, your marketing will improve. And also awareness, really, actually. It's just being able to know and identify what you need to do. And then better results. With improved messaging, you will see improved business, okay? As we go through the steps and as you go through the process of uncovering what this marketing beast is. So, lovely quote that actually one of my BNI colleagues shared with us yesterday. I was like, oh, this is the one I'm going to use. And it says, learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. Okay, by Leonardo da Vinci. So that's it. We need to continue to learn, right? And as the billionaires would tell you, just keep learning. That's the only way you're going to grow and expand your business. So let's just quickly touch on marketing, because this is obviously, I get interest. I won't even ask right in the moment what your definition of marketing is, but I understand that lots of people have different definitions of marketing. So marketing has been defined, as we know by the experts, as being referred to all activities that a company does to promote and sell their products or services to consumers. Marketing makes use of the marketing mix, or also known as the 4 Ps, the product, price, place, and promotion. At its core, marketing seeks to take a product or service, identify its ideal customers, and draw the customer's attention to the product or service available. So these are things that you may have heard, right? We haven't mentioned website, we haven't mentioned Facebook campaigns, just by the way, because often I get people saying, what is marketing to you? Advertising is Facebook ads, websites. No, that's the latter. That's the latter of great marketing, okay? Because you can't jump into your Facebook campaigns not really understanding what your purpose is or what your product is doing, or even if there's a market for it. And how are we going to tell that specific market? Because, right, we want to attract the people we want to work with, not the people that we don't want to work with. We were on my program yesterday, and this lady's like, I actually love working with this audience. And I was like, well, that's your audience. That's who you're going to put your message out to attract, because essentially those are the people you want to work with. If you don't want to work with the other audience, you can't relate your message to that, because then you're going to attract, as they say, law of attraction, right? So that's all the key things that marketing uncovers. And so my definition of marketing, if people ask me, is through my 12 steps that I've since put together to marketing success, we uncover the hidden gems within your business that will set you apart from your competitors. Because it's all about you as a person. What is it that you want to achieve, or what is it that you want to give to your customers? Then it's also about how you package that. How do you take it to market to be unique and be different? Okay, because we don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And especially in the digital space, this is the opportunity for us to differentiate ourselves more so than ever before. I also want to highlight, marketing has no quick fix, no silver bullet, or there's no winning formula. It is a process, and I say you either have to marry into it or forget about it, because it's a marriage. Okay, it's a long-time commitment. Some people say it's like a child, you've got to keep giving it food. You can't let your child starve. But having said that, marketing doesn't also have to cost you a lot of money, but it does pay for you to have a really good understanding of what it really is, and kind of going back to the basics as well, because I think far too often people get tied up in those day-to-day things that I've spoken about, those day-to-day operational things, like we need to send an email out, we need to put our post out, we need to, whereas that should just come naturally once you've taken the ownership of your marketing and really understanding what it is that you want to achieve with your marketing. Okay, sorry, just letting somebody else in. Okay, and I mean, there's dozens of opinions and definitions of marketing out there. Seth being one of my mentors, he says marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but it's rather about the stories that you tell people. Okay, so it's important. Marketing has changed. Okay, that's why it's the quote states, there's two things that businesses need to do: marketing and innovation. All right, the rest will come. Because I'm sure all of these sound very familiar to most of you. I don't have enough customers. I don't know how to stand out amongst my competitors. I don't know what to say in my messaging. I need to grow my business, but not sure where to start. I'm spending money on marketing, but I'm not getting any new leads. And I must be doing something wrong. So you feel a bit like this, right? What the hell am I doing? Well, that's how my clients are when they come to me. They're like, we don't know what to do. Anyway, and the sad part is, if you're a business owner, you've got to take ownership of your marketing. You're not going to be doing that Facebook campaign necessarily, but you have to be able to brief that social media person exactly what they need to do, because otherwise they don't know what to do. So that's what the Marketing Lifeline is here for, as well as the learnership program, to really help us feel alive and in control, to take action with real results. Okay, so just a key learning for today. And it was very hard for me to decide what key learning can I give them today. Anyway, so I thought with the whole poppy thing and everything happening as well, I thought, oh, okay, this is a relevant one, because most often in the programs I do, people are like, no, I don't believe that. I'm like, I promise you, you've got to do it. You've got to nurture your clients. You've got to look after them. Even yesterday, I think the lady's on the call today, she's like, yeah, but my clients only buy every year. I'm like, it's okay. You need to talk to them every month. Okay, it's top of mind. So today's key learning we're going to go into, so let's start off with a statistic. 93% of all online interactions begin with a search engine, right? Okay, well, if you didn't know that, now you do. We all go to Google when we want to find something, or we want to ask a question or find out something. Okay, but that's really servicing that 3% that are buying right now. Okay, so yes, it's good to be on Google, and yes, it's good to be found in Google. But my question is, and as many marketers also say, is there's a whole nother 97% of people that have a problem, they're just not aware of it, so they're not shopping. So we need to make that 97% of people aware that they have a problem, because we know they have a problem. We've done our research, we've identified who the target markets are, we've defined their problems. So that is very important for us. To get to that 3% is very difficult, and it can cost money. But if we go to the 97% and nurture them, we can definitely get them to buy. So let's look a little bit at the sales funnel if you haven't seen it before. Literally almost swapped around. The biggest part of this top of the funnel is awareness. It's the hardest part. It's the killer. Got to do the most activity, but it all begins with awareness. Okay, it's not often that clients are going to have a problem and jump straight in and buy. So awareness are a number of different things. They can go onto your Facebook page, they can go onto your website, they could have met you at BNI, they could have seen you on a webinar. It's all about awareness and creating credibility and all those awesome things that we do, okay? Creating awareness. As I say, we always be marketing. And then, so the process goes to consideration, decision, and retention. We won't get into that too much today. But that's where we need to focus. Again, going back to just that one I spoke about, the 60% of people that are not aware of a problem, but we know they have a problem. Some people are even problem aware, maybe not searching for it yet. And that's what we need to focus on, is the awareness and the consideration. And in this very specific place where I highlight nurturing leads now, that they know you with more valuable information and possibly free trials, okay? We can't be scared to give stuff away for free. So these are some of the touch points. So I've included traditional versus digital media. Typically, this is the process one uses. So below the line is physical touch points. That's your traditional media. Above the line, okay, well, now we're talking traditional media, above the line, below the line for the marketing experts in the house. But what I mean is below the line, here we've got physical touch points. Those are kind of your more traditional media. And then the points above is your digital touch points, okay, which obviously most of us are using because it's so much more cost effective and we have control over these things. So these are just some of the points of contact one can use at each of those different awareness, consideration, purchase phases that we've gone through in terms of the sales funnel. Okay, so I want to talk about the most effective media to create awareness. All right, for that 97% of people that have a problem but aren't aware of it, or are aware of it but are not looking, they're not in that 3% category that are searching, right? Because we're not on Google right now. Yes, we have blogs that are linked and that can be found, and that's why I love blogs, but it's just that point of we're not quite on search at the moment. So our strategy is nurturing. All right, we want to get to that 97% of people. So let's start with email. And why I say email, my little acronym that I've made up is because it gives us the opportunity to educate our customer. Like, isn't that amazing? It gives us the opportunity to help them. It gives us the opportunity to give value, okay? Another one is maintain and manage. Like, we can manage when they contact us or interact with us. With a Facebook campaign, it's not guaranteed, you know. It's going to be in the inbox. Whether they open it or not, trust me, they see who it's from, top of mind, top of mind, top of mind. So it allows us to maintain and manage the communications that our prospect customers can see. Awareness, because as I've just mentioned to you, I know myself, I have emails that come in weekly from specific people. I'm not quite interested right now, but I'm interested. I'm not going to say no because it's top of mind. Some of their emails are quite interesting. I learn from some of them. They give great tips. They give great advice. I'm not going to unsubscribe at this point. And that's what creates the interest. And it will be like relevancy. We call that moment. Or when you want to sell your house, every other house in the block is for sale. Like all of a sudden, you see all these for sale boards. Or all of a sudden, you want to buy a new car and you see this new car everywhere, or the color. You know, that's just how it is. It's that awareness factor. So you're creating interest. And now that person gets to a point in their business and they're going, shucks, I actually really need to put new tires on my car, or whatever, wherever they are. I mean, whether it's a consumer or whatever. And they're like, oh, I saw that email the other day. I must actually go and ask that guy for a quote. So it's just that same thing that you need to keep yourself top of mind. So there's an awareness. So when they need to take action, they'll think about you. Okay. That's what happens. And that will then give us loyal customers. Okay. So email is important and very, very valuable, but just be aware. This could be a whole course on its own in how to prepare emails. And, in terms of what content you give, okay? It's not a sales email. It's not a promotional email. It's not a newsletter. It's not a newsletter. People don't really care about your business and what you've achieved. People want to know how you can help them. Some top tips. Did you know? Or if you're in a trendy industry and things are being put out there and you want to clarify, put it out there. Or how-tos. Those are the things that people want. Remember, continuous learning. People want to continue learning. So as you may know, Gary Vee, also one of my mentors, give value, give value, give value, and then ask for business. He says we must give our most valuable assets for free, because otherwise, why are people going to trust us? Why are people going to turn to us when they really, really need us? Okay, so that is what your emails are about. Giving value, and not every day. Like the trend is every 4 to 6 days. So once a week, slip a little email in with an intention of what your message is going to be. So for example, I would typically say, plan out 12 emails. What are you going to do? So I've got 12 emails. In those 12 emails, I've got my 12 steps to success. In the first step is how to do this, step 1, how to do that, step 2. So it's thought through, okay? It's not pop out an email this week, pop out an email next week, pop out an email next week. Thought through process, okay? It's all about that nurturing and continuous awareness. Because, sorry, it's a bit bad resolution, but I took this from Connect 365 because it's, whether you know it or not, but it's known that you need to touch your prospect at least 12 times to get a reaction. 12 times. You have to contact them 12 times. So contact would be on your website, a Facebook ad, a phone call, an email, another phone call, another email. So those are 6 points, right? The reality of us touching a prospective customer 12 times is hard, right? Guaranteed. So what is it? Email gives us that control. We can control. Yes, he might not open every email, but he will get it every week in his inbox. And the fact that he got it and he saw your name is already a click. It's a link. Our brains are powerful things, right? So that is it. So for example, they say contact 50% of salespeople give up at this point. And that's the reality. They're like, oh, no, they're not interested. Move on. Then 65% of salespeople give up, 79, 89. So by the time you get to contact 5, just now you're becoming a factor in the prospect's mind, but some people give up. Don't give up. Keep going. Nurture them slowly as your prospects get to know you. It's so weird how it works. And then contact 8, you're probably the only person to make 8 contacts with this person by this point. So now they trust you and they think, she's consistent. I like her. And she gives me value. I'm going to stick around. I'm not paying for it. Okay. And so that's how you build and nurture relationships to get to that contact 12, contact 24, whatever it takes. Okay. But remember, it might not even be that person in need at that time. It might be someone that they connect with and go, shucks, I'm really struggling. I really need help. I need a VA or something. you know what, I've actually just seen this email from this VA, why don't you contact her? Okay, that's also the power of word of mouth. So it's not always to say it's that specific person that may need the service, okay, at that specific time. But yeah, so that all goes to targeting. So understanding the problem, obviously going for the right target audience. And why? Because 64% of people open emails based on the sender's name, okay? Because if they recognize your name, they are more likely to open it because they trust you, they know you, okay? If they don't know the name, they're not going to open it. Subject lines are super powerful. Then we go to offer, info, and expected length. So quite frankly, to me, the priority one is who's it coming from, okay? That's the most important thing. Okay, so question. Do you have a list of email addresses, at least of your past or current clients? Yes. If you don't, you need to make one, because that's where you need to start, right? And don't worry about Poppy. You just ask permission. Okay, people are still human. I'm sure in the last week you've all received an email. Would you mind if I can still communicate with you? You said yes or no. And going forward, you just make sure you have your disclosure that says this will be used for marketing purposes. And people are quite, if they want your value, because that will go back to another discussion which we'll have about your lead magnet. If they want your value and they like and trust you, they will give you their email address. But knowing you're not going to bombard them with specials and irrelevant and invaluable content. So, and if you don't have email addresses, what are you going to do to try and capture new email addresses of these prospective clients in the 97% that have a problem, but they're not aware of it? Okay, and legally, please. So that we'll also talk about in one of our sessions and what we can do. But that is very important for you right now. Is if you obviously have a business, if you haven't captured your current and past clients, do that. Pop them an email if you want to get permission. And if not, you don't have any business or clients at the moment, how are you going to capture and start capturing email addresses so that you can start this process and focus on these people and stop doing all these Facebook campaigns and potentially not getting the right leads that you actually want or that specific person you want to work with. Okay, because as I say, your current clients are the jewels also in your business. You know, those are the people that we need to ask all the time. What is it that they want from us? Okay, I say this all the time. Most people use let's think about that one. Most people use conversions and leads for KPIs. I often say, just ask your customer, what is it that they like or don't like? So it's that opportunity. And then also, if you like your clients, and those are the people you want to attract, then start building your messaging around those specific people. There are some clients that we have and we don't want to work with them because that's the reality. Then we don't put out messaging to attract those specific people. So it is important to also focus on your current data and what you have, and then driving value to them, okay? Because you've already got them. And just a question that came out also last week, and I think I mentioned it earlier, yeah, but my clients only buy from me every year. That's okay. You can still nurture them. You can still give them attention. Why? Because maybe their child now needs some support and you are able to, she's able to refer her child onto you, or she meets someone along the way that needs help. Okay, so we need to close that buying cycle or make them believe, or cross-sell or upsell other services that we may have. Okay, there's always a way to engage with someone as long as we've got something valuable to offer. Okay, so just to kind of go into the last end of my let me just, before I go on, are there any questions at this stage? Because I'm rambling and I can't see many of you. Okay, so who should join my Lifeline Learning? I would highly recommend startup entrepreneurs, like people that have an understanding of marketing but perhaps don't. Okay, often when people come to talk to me, I change their total mindset about marketing and what it actually really is. Definitely established entrepreneurs, because we can change things. And because the way the world works at the moment, the digital space, it allows for us to be smarter and have different things and do different things. And it's a very competitive environment. So And I'm sure most established entrepreneurs.
Pleasure, Junior.
Do you have a question? Is it
Sorry,
clear?
I didn't realize. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry.
no problem. So yeah, established entrepreneurs, unless you're satisfied with your number of clients or your awareness out there, then you don't obviously need to consider this. But small to medium-sized business owners, and then I suppose really anyone that doesn't have a marketing manager or director in their own business, and then serious business owners who want to get their marketing right, but not a marketing expert, right? And again, if you don't have enough customers, if you don't know how to stand out amongst your competitors, if you don't know what to say in your messaging, it's a very critical thing. Everyone gets this quite wrong. If you want to grow your business, but not sure even where to start, okay? If you're spending money on marketing, but you're not getting any leads, and if you think you can learn something about marketing, then this is where you can join us to go to the basics and back to the basics of marketing. Okay, so what to kind of expect? We'll meet once a week online on Zoom, forever. Okay, we'll never be face to face. On a Wednesday at 10. I'm happy we can negotiate the time on a Wednesday, depending on the participants at the time. But that's the reality is, if we 1 hour impactful, we come in, we have a quick learning, and then we kind of go to the niggles at the end. It will be a group session of business owners from different industries led by myself. Each week we will discuss a specific topic, whether it's going to be about the market in terms of where the market is going, trends, or your market as in your target market. Then we're going to talk about message, okay, how to validate message, what to do, what works, what doesn't work. And then we're also going to look at media. So like we've just spoken about media today, what are the different options to look at, what works, what doesn't. Yeah, and then one topic per month will be open-ended. So through our discussion forum, we'll define a key topic and then we will discuss that. So just to allow us to also have an opportunity to help. The weekly sessions will be recorded, as this one is, for those that obviously can't join. I've had a few people this morning say, sorry, emergency, can't join. It's okay, I will have it available for you to catch up. There is also a shared membership area on our website that will be available for you to access all the presentations, as well as the recordings, and then some of my Lifeline presentations and resources. There is also going to be a private group on LinkedIn, which I would invite you to, where you are able to engage and ask specific questions where you're struggling with some things, and then I would answer, somebody else will answer, someone else will give their advice if they want to be interactive. Just a forum for us to all learn from each other. And really building relationships and growing your network, okay? So building strong relationships with other like-minded businesses is really a powerful marketing tool in its own. As I've mentioned to you, the first month is free for you to come in, get a feel for it. Is it going to work for you? Do you get enough benefit and value? So it's really just come in for the month of July. We're going to just go on every Wednesday, and we're just going to go through this 1 hour a week. And hopefully by the end of it, you're so overwhelmed that you have no choice but to sign up. And then our monthly fee thereafter will be 375 Rand or $25 per month for your membership. Okay, so I mean, if you have to break that down, it's probably probably a cup of coffee and a piece of cake, okay, for really, really valuable information. And I'm sure people that have been on my course, I don't know if Tracy's joined us, I know Tanya's here, but you know, the recommendations and the reviews I've received is, I know I'm passionate because I always tell people, Tracy, do you want to maybe just say, have you learned anything from your course this far?
Well, I know that you put me on the spot now. No, but on a serious note, it's been absolutely in value, because I work for Sanlam and we work in a very rigid environment. To sell the products isn't difficult, but to sell myself was quite hard. And it's just opened my entire perspective on how I can be different so that I can stand out in a market that is saturated with products and people. So it's been very, very, very good and a great learning curve for me.
Awesome. Thanks for putting you on the spot. You see, this is something else we learn about being confident, hey?
Oh, thanks, Megs.
Okay, so that's it. And then most importantly is you become a lifeline learner. and potentially a marketing expert in your own right, okay, with that awareness and clarity. That's all it is. It's just giving you the tools and the information and the clarity, and it just makes your process and your marketing so much better. So next steps from our side is join us again next week. Okay, join us again next week, same time, same place, because you can. I will send out the invite anyway. If you want to join, you can. If you don't, it's fine. If you can't join next week, you're welcome to join the next week or the next week, right? We've still got 3 more weeks left. So you're welcome to hop in and then see how the forum goes every week and what we're going to talk about and how we're going to handle it. Because today was a little bit more formalized to just do a bit of an introduction and so forth. But it's really going to be an open forum, and I'm happy for you guys to engage and interact. And then take my free assessment maybe, if you feel that you're not sure if this is meant for you, because quite often the free assessment also raises your awareness levels in terms of where you are at in your business and maybe where you need to focus. So I'm going to drop that into the chat. You can take my free assessment to see how you score. That will maybe help you along the way to decide if this is for you or not. Or I'm happy for you to book a 30-minute Lifeline call with me, and let's just chat about where you are at your business. You know, maybe you've got an idea about this is where I'm struggling. Is this going to work for me? Or should I maybe go onto your program? Or should I just do that 8-hour? Or like, I don't want to waste my time. Or like, you need to tell me what's the best for me. I'm happy. Please do that. Contact me, send me an email, or book a 30-minute. I'll also drop it into the chat. And let's chat. You know, I'm here to help you. That is my ethos. So yeah, to finish it off, I believe marketing is the lifeline of your business, because it is what makes your customers come pouring in if you get it right. Okay. And that doesn't mean running a successful Facebook campaign. Please do not do a successful Facebook campaign yet. Let's get your message right. Let's get your market right. And then we go with the right media. And my goal, so I'd love for you to join the journey with me, is to empower 10,000 entrepreneurs with my 12 steps to marketing success by the end of 2025. Because marketing will set you apart and not your business, as I've said before. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate your time. I know a lot of us are busy and we're running businesses, but we also need to spend time on our businesses, and we also need to spend time on ourselves, you know. So I'm glad you guys took the time out. It's a quick hour, but it could be quite valuable to help you kind of kickstart your business, get onto the marketing reality, and really unpack this mammoth of a thing that most people have a bit of a fear of, as I say. So I'm going to stop my share there, and if there's any questions, so I can see some faces. Hello, everybody. It's so nice to see faces, other than my own and a few other people that I've got to see. Have we got no questions?
Well, I've got one, Megan.
Go for it.
I have a email database of most of my customers, but I have not used it for marketing and haven't asked them for permissions. What is probably the best way to go around getting those permissions, or kind of asking them? Because there's guys that say, for instance, came last year, got the email address, and I haven't seen them since. But just how would I get them to give the permissions, or what's the approach?
Yeah, what you could do off the cuff, Neil, is you could, I don't know if you've received any emails in the last week from any of your suppliers. Well, I've received a few because I've got. Okay, so you would do the same. You would basically formulate a valuable informative email about Poppy maybe, and because it's a good time, everyone's kind of getting it, and then just say, we would like to send you a monthly email, or, you know, we'd like to, no, maybe don't even say monthly if you want to anticipate timing, just say we would like to keep in touch with you regarding not our sales and our specials, but valuable tips and advice to keep your cars and tires safe on the road. And they can always have an option to unsubscribe as well. So don't be too fearful of that, but off the cuff, send that. If you don't get any unsubscribes, or people do unsubscribe, obviously take them off the list. If they don't, start sending it to them. They can always at a later stage unsubscribe. But I tell you, if you give valuable insights and information, that's interesting to read, people won't just unsubscribe. But if you're going to give them, stuff that sells like, they're going to unsubscribe.
No, 100%. And then okay, no, that kind of answers my other question as well. Right. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Anyone else have any other questions? Because then we even finished earlier.
I just want to ask, with related to Neil's question, would you then just send the email giving the little explanation and then just instruct them if they would like to unsubscribe, please just click below? Not too easy almost, but I mean, by default, your unsubscribe should be in your footer. So then just tell them if you would like to unsubscribe, just click unsubscribe and not make it too complicated.
You have to, you have to give them the option. Up front, but going forward, you don't. Your unsubscribe will always just be in your footer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Is there no questions? Did I zoosh through this?
Hi, Megan.
Sorry, no, you go ahead, Dumisani. You go ahead.
Okay. My confusion is with the whole marketing concept is, the difference between brand awareness and marketing the business. Not sure, are they one of the same thing, or is there differentiation between the two when you're marketing that?
Great question. And I'm actually just thinking, I hope there wasn't any questions in the chat. I haven't even looked at those, but I'll get to those. So Dumisani, we just talk about awareness. Okay. So whether it's brand or market awareness, it's awareness. Essentially, when they think about travel, they want to think about solid matter. That's what we want them to think, or just Dumisani for that matter. Okay, so we just want to create awareness so that when people think about a problem, they think you as the solution. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so we don't talk about different parts. It's awareness. Okay, so it's both market brand awareness. Sorry, Kim, you had a question?
No, I just wanted to say thank you very much. I'm sorry I came on late. I had an unexpected visitor, but yeah, I resonate with everything. Fantastic content, and you're speaking to the converted. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim. And was there any specific questions that I'm going to quickly look in the chat? No.
If no one's got questions, I'll jump in again.
Go for it, Neil.
I've got almost 2 tiers of customers. Okay, tiers is probably the wrong word, but 2 facets of customers. I've got corporate fleets and your walk-in, guys looking for tires. Do I, for the email, what the subject matter was now, for the email, do you split it and give different content to those 2 different types of customers? Or do you have to create the email almost generically enough to have it sent to one?
Very good question, Neil. Just I'm loving this. Yeah, so that's another discussion for another day, but obviously I will answer your question in the brief of it. That is what's so important about target marketing, as we say, or segments, target segments. Okay, because typically a business has 2 different types of audiences. Okay, you're going to have specifically, let's say yours, you've got a woman and a man. Okay, a woman and a man are going to have different problems, okay, regarding your product or service. That's just the reality of it. I'm going to have a different product problem to you, or I'm going to look for a different solution to another lady, or I'm even different to another woman. Do you know what I mean? Like there are so many different, just us on the call right now, all have a different problem with one thing. Okay, we just have different things. So yes, we do have to do that, but you don't have to. So we define primary and secondary target markets. Generally, we can look at tertiaries as well, but generally I say we have a primary and a secondary target market. Like that's who we want to appeal to. Those are the people that we want to attract to our business because A, they make us smile, they pay on time, they make us happy to work with them. Like those are key things for us. Like it's our business. We want to be able to work with the people that we want to work with. So that's what we have to focus on in terms of target segmenting. So once we've defined now who are the key people, The walk-in would be a persona. We would say the typical walk-in would be this. And the typical, is it your fleet clients? I don't know, is it your other ongoing guys?
Yeah,
they're different. So immediately your walk-in client is that one that goes, oh shucks, I can see the metal on my tire, or oh shucks, I can't, my car's not braking very well, I've got a noise. Whereas the fleet guy is going safety, quality, OSHA, what's it, health and safety, So they already got two different problems. So you would define those two audiences, and you would communicate to your walk-ins, in terms of how often you should check your tires, what to look out for when it's time to change, what to, if something's making a noise, this is what it probably could be, that kind of thing. And your fleet people would be more about the benefits of maintaining a fleet for the safety of your staff, the benefits of maintaining your fleet because it's going to save your business money in the long run. Okay, so immediately you can see you've got two different audiences with slightly different messaging. So good question. Does that help?
Thanks. Yes, perfect. Yeah.
So yes, you can split your database up. Absolutely, you can. Not always necessary, but if you've got two very key audiences like that, yes, you can. Same with Dumasani, you might have corporate travel and he's got kind of leisure. Those are two different need sets. The corporate traveler is not going, oh, I want to go to the best destination ever. No, I have to go, because that's where my meeting is. Leisure is, let's go to the best place in the world, two different things. So very important to start segmenting your database.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? So are any of you going to join us again next week, Wednesday, I hope? If you can't join us next week, you're welcome to hop in any other week from here on out. Okay, so that's the open invitation to everyone. Any other questions, guys? I'm very happy to take more questions. I thought I would have a lot more questions, so I kind of wanted to leave the last 15 minutes for that. So let's, anything, nothing.
It's a good sign, Megan. It means that you covered it in like everything we needed to know. I think it's a really good sign.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. You are amazing. Okay, guys. Well, then I think let's wrap that up. And then I look forward to seeing you again next week for those that come. And if you want to just send me an email, or as I said, take my assessment or book a session with me if you're really stuck with something specifically, because I know marketing is mammoth. Okay, mammoth ties, mammoth. It is mammoth. But I help you to break it down into bite sizes that are very workable. Okay, take things in bite sizes.
Megan, sorry, I see you. There's a quick question for you from Michelle, I think. I think that's quite a good question, or important. Is your content only for the digital space, or do you expand to above the line media, etc.?
Good question. I think that's Craig. No, absolutely not. Obviously, digital being more prevalent and most of us on digital, but absolutely not. We will look at all platforms of media, wherever it's applicable for your audience, where they're buying, where they're seeing you. So both of them. So traditional media is not dead. There are places that it's quite applicable, especially when we talk about events, when COVID is past, and talk about PR and stuff like that. So no, definitely not just a digital space. I am a traditional marketer by experience, because that's what we learned 20 years ago. But obviously I've also had to bring myself up to speed in terms of the digital capacity. So absolutely not. It's all about the audience and who we want to talk to. Does that answer your question, Craig? Cool. Okay, thanks, guys. Then I just want to say thanks again, and I look forward to meeting you again next week. And yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and have a super Wednesday. And hopefully the little minds are ticking already. What am I going to do? Got to get that database together. Got to think about those value-driven emails. Stop sending promotional alerts or newsletters. If you really want to write a newsletter, you can write a newsletter for yourself, but don't send it to your customers.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Megan.
guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.